Alright, what's going on, guys? If you're not keeping up with the NBA right now, you might want to start paying attention because the Los Angeles Clippers hold the keys to the future of the NBA right now, basically. The Clippers' success or failure right now basically holds the potentiality for determining whether a future NBA dynasty will occur or not. But before we get into this video, let's get this out of the way. If you guys enjoy this type of content, please make sure to smash that like button. I would really appreciate it, and every like goes a long way for me in this channel. And if you guys want to see similar content to this, please make sure to stick around and subscribe. I'd love to have you guys in my community. I love to just talk all things NBA and basketball, and I'd love to have more people to do it with. With that being said, let's get into the video. So the Los Angeles Clippers are a team that I've talked about a couple times on this channel. They were a team that came in with pretty high expectations. A lot of analysts predicted them to be in the middle of the playoff race for the Western Conference, around like the 4 or the 5 seed. And so far, they have utterly disappointed everyone this season. Right now, they're 5-15 on the year, and unfortunately, it doesn't seem like they're getting any better. Really, what that comes down to is they're just too old. The Clippers have way too many old players on their team. I like to call them the LA retirement home, just because everybody on that team is on the tail end of their career, and it's just getting more and more obvious that they just don't have the stamina and the athletic ability of all these players at their current age to keep up with all the other NBA teams. Not to mention, Kawhi has missed a good amount of time with injury. One of their key acquisitions, Bradley Beal, is out for the rest of the year with a surgery. Chris Paul is 40. He's now on his retirement tour, and so far he's looked abysmal this season. Just basically every key acquisition and player that they brought in has disappointed so far this season. I mean, the only guy on the team so far that's been reliable is James Harden. And so basically the future of the NBA rests in James Harden's hands. Because as of right now, the Clippers have the 6th best odds to get the #1 overall pick in this upcoming NBA draft lottery, sitting at a 9% chance to get the #1 pick, a 9.2% chance to get the #2 pick, and a 9.4% chance to get the #3 pick. But here's the kicker. The Clippers actually have a 0% chance to get any of those picks because their pick belongs to the OKC Thunder. The OKC Thunder have been in absolute league of their own this season, sitting in top 6 in offensive rating per game and absolutely crushing every other team in defensive rating, sitting at a defensive rating of 103.6, and the next best team, the Houston Rockets, sitting at 110.3. They are currently 20-1 and are in a 12-game win streak on the back of their star player and last year's MVP, Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. Now, Shai Gilgeous-Alexander is a very polarizing player, yes. A lot of people think he's one of the greatest to ever do it or will go down as one of the greatest to ever do it. Others say that he's a foul merchant, a foul-baiting wussy. It doesn't change the fact that the OKC Thunder are by far the best team in the NBA right now, and it's not even a competition. And here's why I say the Los Angeles Clippers and James Harden hold the keys to the future of the NBA. Because that Clippers pick that I highlighted earlier doesn't belong to them. It belongs to the OKC Thunder, the odds-on favorite to win the NBA Finals this year. So there's basically 2 scenarios that can happen by the end of the season and going into the offseason. The Clippers either stay afloat, stay in the late lottery, or maybe even make a playoff push and decrease that value of that pick that the Thunder hold, or they can continue to fail, they can continue to sink lower and lower in the standings and rise higher and higher in lottery projections. And again, the odds-on favorite and potential back-to-back NBA Finals champion OKC Thunder could have a top 3 pick in the draft. And if you don't know about this year's draft, it's basically a 3-man race. There are 3 top prospects that are seen as better than the rest, and then once you get to 4 through the rest, it kind of drops off a little bit. And so there is a really real possibility that the OKC Thunder could add another generational NBA prospect to their already stacked roster that is already 20-1 this season and looking like they are going to break the Warriors' 73-win record this season. So the reason that the OKC Thunder have this pick is because of the Paul George trade. The trade that happened like 6 or 7 years ago that the Thunder are still benefiting from to this day, while also proving to be one of the worst trades in NBA history for the Clippers, as they gave up a future MVP in Shai Gilgeous-Alexander and a ton of picks for Paul George and no championships, or really barely any playoff success. So we're at the point now in 2025 and 2026 where James Harden holds the keys to the NBA's future. Based on how the Clippers end this season, could be the defining moment between whether we see a great NBA team win a couple of championships and then peter off, or a potential NBA dynasty that rivals some of the best, like Bill Russell's Celtics or Michael Jordan's Bulls. And at a time in the season where trade rumors are basically flying off the wall right now, the Clippers remain completely quiet because the players on their team hold no value. They're all old, on the tail end of their career. No team wants to trade for a player like that. That's going to give you maybe like 1 or 2 more good years and then be out of the league. All right, what's going on, guys? Editing Tid here. I was editing that part about Chris Paul, and something popped up on my Twitter. It was reported by ESPN that Chris Paul and the Clippers are parting ways. They haven't waived him. They can't do that, but they said that they are separating and they'll be looking and working with him for the next part of his career. Pretty crazy. It seems like Chris Paul is being separated from the team while they look to trade him. What I've been reading is all they really are going to be able to get for him is some second-round picks, just a dump of picks, which kind of cements in my head that the Clippers really have no players of value to try and get other players back, which basically means they're stuck with the roster that they have or trading away people for players of equal or lesser value, which means we're all screwed, basically. The Thunder are probably going to get a top 5 pick in the NBA draft this year, and yeah, good luck to everybody else. Back to your regularly scheduled programming. But they also can't trade away and try and tank this year because they don't have their draft pick. Clippers have to batten down the hatches, play together, and try and string some wins together. Or else by the end of the season, we could see them giving a top 3 pick to the best team in the NBA right now so that they can add another piece for their future dynasty. So does James Harden and the Clippers hold the keys to the NBA's future? I think so, and I'm very scared to see what they do with it. This is a crazy situation that I don't think many people realize right now in the NBA. A random team like the Clippers' bad season could strike disaster for the rest of the league, honestly. All because of a trade that happened like 7 years ago that everybody thought the Thunder had finally stopped reaping the benefits of. Nope, they're still reaping the benefits of this horrible trade that the Clippers made. And so this is going to be a really interesting developing story as the year goes on and into the offseason. If the Clippers continue to fall and the Thunder continue to look way better than everybody else, basically. But yeah, that's all I got for today, guys. If you guys enjoyed this video, please make sure to smash that like button. Again, if you guys want to stick around and see more of my content, I would totally appreciate it if you guys would subscribe. And last but not least, make sure to comment down below, where do you guys have the Clippers ending this season? Do you have them continuing to fall, or do you have them maybe turning it around and maybe fighting for a play-in spot or even a playoff spot? But with that being said, that's all I got for today, guys. As always, peace and love.